Hello, my dear students. I welcome to all of you to this session of refrigeration and air conditioning. Dear students, you know that last class we have discussed the practical vapor compression, vapor absorption difference system, where we have seen that extra arrangement like analyzer, rectifier, and the heat exchanger we have used to enhance the coefficient of performance of a absorption system, because in case of simple vapor absorption refrigerant system we have seen the performance or COP is compared to that practical vapor absorption refrigerant system, the performance is low. So that is why to enhance the COP we have used extra accessories like analyzer, rectifier and heat exchanger. Okay, now today we will be going to discuss about the comparison between vapor absorption and vapor compression refrigerant system. So there are so many points which we can discuss here, but before coming to the discussion, let us introduce myself. I am Dhiraj Mondal, Assistant Professor, JIS College of Engineering, Department of Mechanical Engineering. My phone number and email ID given. You can submit the assignment and to my email ID, and you can call me in case if you want to join JIS College of Engineering. Admission open for 2020. The contact number is given here, and you know that it is your JIS College of Engineering, first private engineering college in West Bengal, and Department of Mechanical Engineering is NB accredited department. So for more update you can call here in this number. Okay, so let us discuss. So last class we have discussed the practical vapor absorption refrigerant system. Today we are going to discuss about the comparison between vapor absorption refrigerant system and vapor compression refrigerant system. So you know we have discussed introduction, what is reabsorption system, what are the types, what are the principles. Okay, these were discussed last class. The diagram you have seen how it is operating, components and the advantages, disadvantages we have seen. And after that what we have seen the applications of VARS, then simple vapor compression refrigerant system, practical vapor absorption refrigerant system. So the first problem I can see that type of energy supplied. Type of energy supplied means which type of energy we are supplying in case of VARS and VCRS. So we will see that that means already I have discussed that energy, mainly heat energy, and can be provided in the generator in case of vapor absorption refrigerant system. So low grade heat is what one kind of low grade energy. So we are using low grade energy to operate the vapor absorption refrigerant system. Next point is your vapor compression refrigerant system, where basically mechanical energy or high grade energy is needed. That means some electrical energy is needed to operate the motor, and that motor is basically producing mechanical energy to operate the shaft, and this shaft basically rotating the compressor. Okay, is used to rotate the compressor. So basically compressor is used in case of vapor compression refrigerant system, and one kind of high grade energy. So work you know that it is one type of high grade energy, and heat is the low grade energy. So the first point is your type of energy supplied. Next comparison is your energy supply. So basically energy supply, it is high about 150% of refrigeration effect. So basically in case of vapor compression refrigerant system, it is low to 50 to 25% of refrigeration effect we are getting. Okay, and here basically energy supply is high in case of VARS, about 150% of the refrigeration effect, and in case of VCRS 50 to 25% of the refrigeration effect. Next is your point number 3, wear and tear. So wear and tear is less in case of VARS, wear and tear is less, and in case of VCRS it is more, because more moving part you will see here. So next point, point number 4, performance at part load. So here it is telling that system not affected by load variation. So if the load is varying, then it is not affected, but in case of vapor compression system it is poor. Okay, so the performance as at part load it is poor in case of VCRS. Next, point number 5, size of condenser. Size of condenser is small here, and in case of compressor the size of compressor is more large. Because why? Because we are compressing the gases. Gas means your vapor ammonia, but in case of in case of very sorry, it is the condenser, it is the condenser. So in case of basically in VARS we are not using any kind of compressor, we are using solution pump to pressurize that water particle, that means to place the water into the generator. So size of the condenser is small, but in this vapor compression reference system it is more, because we are using gas particle in the compressor, we are compressing gas. Okay, so that is why. Now next, point number 6, evaporator pressure. Evaporator pressure, it is you can see that the capacity of the system is controlled by adjusting the steam or generator temperature even if the evaporator pressure falls. So in case of VARS the capacity of the system is controlled by adjusting the steam or generator temperature, because you know that in the generator some heat is given by the help of solar or any kind of energy, heat energy. If the evaporator pressure falls, so basically the evaporator pressure it is in case of VARS is telling the capacity of the system is controlled by the adjusting the steam or generator temperature. Okay, if the evaporator temperature falls, it is nothing happening. But in case of vapor compression reference system, the capacity of the system decreases rapidly with the reduced evaporator pressure. So I can say the capacity of the system is decreasing because decreases rapidly with the reduced evaporator pressure. If the evaporator pressure is decreasing, then we will see that the less refrigeration effect we will be getting. So to get high, already in vapor compression reference system the factors affecting the vapor compression reference system already I have discussed. To get high efficiency, high COP, you need to have evaporator pressure as high as possible and condenser pressure as low as possible. So that is why this point is suitable. So if the evaporator pressure is falling down, then the capacity is basically decreasing. Point number 7, leakage of refrigerant. No changes as there is no compressor or any reciprocating component to cause leakage. So no chance here basically in case of VARS what we have seen that no chance as there is no compressor. We have seen that instead of compressor we have used generator, reducing valve and pump, solution pump and the absorber. So here there is not any kind of chance to leakage of the compressor. Okay, because we are not using more chances of leakage of refrigerant in case of vapor compression reference system, because automatically it is rapidly operating, and without compressor we cannot run this machine. Okay, vapor compression reference system. Point number 8, maintenance. Mass less maintenance needed here comparatively, but in case of vapor compression, because in case of vapor compression reference system more maintenance required because there are so many moving part. Okay, next is your number 9. Number 9 is your space. More bulky for small unit and mass more compact and less bulky for large capacity. Okay, comparatively. So space is needed, more space needed, because we know that the arrangement is more, because instead of one single compressor, we have to use generator, reducing valve, pump, absorber like this, and heat exchanger, analyzer, rectifier. They also it is there. So more space needed, but in case of vapor compression reference system, less bulky for small unit but more bulky for large capacity unit. Okay, so the requirement space required is less compared to the VARS. Clear? Next, point number 10. Point number 10 is your cost for large tonnage system. So the cost less costly in case of vapor absorption system, because we are not using electricity. Okay, but it is much costly comparatively. If I am comparing to with respect to VARS, then it is much more costly, because we are using electricity to run the machine, to run the compressor. Clear? Next, point number 11. Point number 11 is your charging of refrigerant. So charging of refrigerant is difficult, but in case of VCRS it is very simple. Okay, so if the refrigerant, if you want to recharge, okay, that means if the refrigerant is basically what happened, sometime you will see that the refrigerant, there is not any not much sufficient refrigerant inside the duct system, so again you have to recharge the refrigerant. So it is very difficult in case of VARS, but it is simple in case of VCRS. Okay, next, point number 12, damage. So liquid traces of refrigerant present in piping at the exit of the evaporator constitute no danger. Okay, so here what we can see, that there is basically less amount of danger we can see. That means liquid traces of the refrigerant present in the piping at the exit of the evaporator constitute no danger. But in case of VCRS, liquid traces in suction line may damage the compressor. Whatever the liquid we are tracing the in the suction line, that may damage the compressor, because in the compressor we need only gas. Okay, but if there is some air particle, water particle, or weighty gases, then water and gas mixture, then we will see, so there will be some damage in the moving parts, corrosion, erosion problem will be there. Okay, next, point number 13, suitability. Okay, so can also be used at remote places, as it can work even with a simple kerosene lamp, of course, in small capacities. Okay, so I can use it in a remote places, and it can be worked even in the simple kerosene lamp. Just you need to have some heat content. Okay, but it is used where high grade energy is available. That means your electricity is available, otherwise you cannot use this VCRS. So this is all about the comparison. I hope it is clear. And after that, let us discuss about the coefficient of performance of an ideal vapor absorption reference system. So we know that vapor compression reference system, we have seen what is the COP, desired effect by work input. That means in terms of enthalpy, H2 minus H1. If I am drawing the TS diagram, then it is your H2 minus H1. Let us consider this is your like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So H2 minus H1 by H3 minus H2, it is the it is what the COP. But in case of vapor absorption, ideal vapor absorption system, what is the COP? Let us find out. Ideal, remember it is ideal. So we are assuming that process is reversible one. Okay. So first of all, let us consider QG is the heat given to refrigerant in the generator. Okay, heat given to the refrigerant in the generator. QC is the heat discharged to the atmosphere or cooling water from the condenser and absorber. QE is the heat absorbed by the refrigerant in the evaporator, and QP is the heat added to the refrigerant due to pump work. Clear? And again we are assuming that Tg is the temperature at which heat. So QP is the heat added to the refrigerant due to pump work. Now Tg is what? Temperature at which the heat Qg is given to the generator. Tc is the temperature at which Qc is discharged to atmosphere or cooling water from the condenser and absorber, and T is the temperature at which heat QE is absorbed in the evaporator. Now you know that first law of thermodynamics. The first law of thermodynamics is basically telling about the conservation of energy. That means energy in the universe, energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only it can be converted into one point state to another state. Total energy in the universe is conserved. So cyclic integral of delta Q is equal to cyclic integral of delta W, we can say. Now in this vapor absorption reference system, if I am again, if you are 1 minute, you can see here, if you can see here the QG amount of heat is given to the system, QC amount of heat is rejected from the system, from the condenser, and QE amount of heat is given to the evaporator. Okay, so total energy you can see entering into the system is equal to coming out of the system. That means we can say that QC is equal to QG plus QE. Can I write this? Because we are neglecting the pump, that means QP, neglecting the QP. So in this diagram, I hope it is clear. So by the help of steady flow energy equation, you can write that QC is equal to QE plus QG, where QP is the heat added to the refrigerant due to pump work, and it is neglected. Okay, we are just not considering this QP. So QC is equal to QG plus QE. I hope it is all right. Now as the vapor absorption system can be considered as a perfectly reversible system, so we are assuming that it is a perfectly reversible system. Therefore the initial entropy of the system is equal to entropy of the system after the change of its condition. That means you know that entropy is what? Delta H is equal to dq by T. That means degrees of disorderness or summation of heat, the total heat at a particular temperature. Okay, so basically delta Q by T is equal to delta S, that is the entropy. And if it is your reversible system, then the entropy initially the initial entropy of the system is equal to final entropy of the system after the change of its condition. So let us consider there is not any kind of generation of entropy or any kind of losses, we can say better. So according to the second law, of thermodynamics. Second law basically it is telling about the interchangeability of heat and work, and also the entropy, concept of entropy. We can say that delta S is equal to delta Q by T, or here the heat content is your QC. In the equation number 1, QC is equal to QG plus QE, so heat content is your QC. And let us consider the time, the temperature. Already it is assumed that TC is what? Temperature at which heat QC is discharged to the atmosphere or cooling water from the condenser and absorber. Okay, so mathematically what we can write, QG by TG plus QE by TE is equal to QC by TC. Am I right? So this is the equation, and which is derived from the concept of entropy, delta Q by T. So QG by TG, QE by TE, Q is equal to QC by TC. This is the equation number 2, and this is the equation. By the help of this equation we will be finding out the COP. Now let us consider, you know that from the equation number 1, so this equation is clear. Now from the equation number 1 I can write QC is equal to QG plus QE. So here I have written QC is equal to QG plus QE, and if I am dividing with respect to TC, so QG by TC plus QE by TC is equal to QG by TG plus QE by TE. So this equation, I hope it is clear. So now what I have done, I am just taking QG in left hand side and QE in the right hand side. Okay, so QG by TG minus QG by TC is equal to QE by TC minus QE by TE. Okay, so this is the equation what I have got from this equation. Okay, now taking common QG, so QG is, if I am taking common QG, then LCM is your TG and TC. So after a simplification, and here taking common QE, after simplification this equation we have got. Now QG is equal to QE into this figure you have seen, just simple mathematical formula, mathematical equation, and ultimately what I have got, QG is equal to QE into TC minus TE in by TE into TG by TG minus TC, equation number 3. Okay, so this is the equation, keep it in your mind. Now we have to find out the maximum coefficient of performance of the system. What is the maximum coefficient of performance of the system? Maximum coefficient of performance means QE by QG, and we are assuming there is not any kind of pump work and anything else. That means we are assuming that only QG amount of heat is given, and the effect what we are getting, that is your QE. So QE is the evaporator heat, and in the evaporator heat extracted from in the evaporator, and QC is the heat given to the generator. Now let us already I have got the QG, the value of QG already I have got. This is the equation. So in terms of QE and temperature from different devices, what we have got, COP maximum is equal to QE by QE into TC minus TE by TE into TG by TG minus TC. Okay, so this is the equation. Now the QE and QE cancel out. We can cancel this QE and QE. So what we have got, COP maximum is equal to TE by TC minus TE into TG minus TC by TG. Okay, and here I can see clearly see that TE by TC minus TE is what? COP of Carnot refrigerator working between temperature limit TE and TC. So this is nothing but the Carnot COP of a Carnot refrigeration. which is operating between TE and TC, where T is the evaporator temperature, which is the source, which is the sink, and TC is the compressor temperature, which is the source. And if I am drawing the diagram, you will see that it is the COP of the, that means your desired effect by work input. Desired effect is your TE and work input is the TC minus TE. So this is all about the COP of the refrigerator working between temperature limit TE and TC. And am I clear? Now this part is COP of the Carnot refrigerator, and this part is nothing but the Carnot efficiency, because TG by T minus TC by TG is what? Efficiency of a Carnot engine working between the temperature limit TG and TC. Okay, so it is basically engine, one type of Carnot engine or heat engine you can say. Thus the ideal vapor refrigeration system may be regarded as a combination of Carnot engine and a Carnot refrigeration. Very important formula. It is the derivation may come. Maximum COP of a ideal refrigeration, a vapor absorption refrigeration system is equal to what? COP Carnot into eta Carnot. Okay, COP of the Carnot engine, and this is the 1 minus TC by TG. That means 1 minus out temperature, surrounding temperature by system temperature. Okay, so the 1 minus TC by TG, and this is nothing but the efficiency, Carnot efficiency. Okay, so output by input, clear? So ultimately what we have seen, that maximum COP of a vapor of a ideal vapor refrigeration system is equal to COP Carnot into eta COP, that is your efficiency of the Carnot COP efficiency into Carnot COP. Okay, when the heat is discharged at different temperature in condenser and absorber, then COP max is equal to what? At that time we have to write that TE by TC minus TE, same as before, and TG minus TA. Instead of TC we have to write TA, that means absorber temperature, by TG. So TA is the temperature at which the heat is discharged in the absorber. So this is the formula. So I hope it is clear, and this is very important for your exam point of view. And in next class we will be discussing about the principle and working of Electrolux refrigerator, that is your, it is also called 3 fluid system or aqua ammonia refrigeration system. Okay, so these the working principle, it will be discussed in the next class. Also in the upcoming class we will be discussing the lithium bromide absorption system, refrigeration system. Here we will be seeing that how the condenser, okay, how the condenser and the generator is working in the same drum or same pressure, and how the evaporator, okay, and absorber is working in the same pressure, and how the process is happening, how much amount of effect we are getting. Okay, so that working principle will be discussed in the next class. Some numerical problem will be discussed. So I hope it is clear today up to this, and this is your assignment. Submit it to my given mail. So and the previous class what I have discussed, please keep revising, otherwise you will forget it. Okay, and those who have not submitted the assignment yet, you can submit the assignment, because based on the your assignment and your query I will give you some marks. Okay, so don't take it casually. These are the chapter and the topic which is very important for your exam point of view. And this is the end of the video. Before ending the video, let us discuss about the JIS College of Engineering. You can see the admission is open for 2020 JIS College of Engineering. This is the admission cell number. You can contact admission cell email ID, and you can visit our college website. The link is available. So always welcome to the JS College of Engineering, which is first private engineering college in West Bengal according and rank 1, and it is your according to the India Today ranking. And the Department of Mechanical Engineering is NBA accredited department in JS College of Engineering, Kollani, Noida. You can join in case if you want to visit our college. You can contact here, and all the facilities will be available. Okay, accordingly. So this is the end of the video today. Up to this, thank you for listening. Jai Hind.